Oh, they had fashion on their minds as they entered the building. Soon, the only thing the Spurs will be thinking about is a win here at home. Downtown San Antonio, Texas, this bridge spans the Riverwalk, not too far from our location tonight. Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. In this one, we'll see the Philadelphia 76ers against the San Antonio Spurs here at AT&T Center. This is Kevin Harlan, and beside me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. David Aldridge joins us on the sideline. DA, take it away.
Hey, Kevin, you may recall that in 2014, the Spurs played maybe the three most perfect games in finals history. With passing and three-point shooting, they vanquished the Heat and inspired a new wave. Brett Brown, who was then a Spurs assistant, said Greg Popovich had a name for it, summertime. As in, the game's flowing, good shot to great one, and there it is. It's summertime. Kevin?
That's a terrific story. David, thank you. Now we have a moment to look at how the blocks have been stacking up over the past several months for him.
We're just not seeing that same fierceness out of him defensively these last few months. He's lost a little bit of that intimidation factor. He's not blocking as many shots, and he's not making the same impact on that end of the floor.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Harris and Embiid together in the middle. Shake Milton is out there with Ben Simmons, and it's Green in at the three. And for San Antonio, we've got Rudy Gay, Murray out there with White. Then there's Jakob Poeltl, and it's DeRozan in at the small forward. And it's a really delicate balance for some teams at this point, trying to keep guys rested and ready for the playoffs, but also, Steve, not wanting to lose their momentum.
So true, and there's much more of a focus on that now. Balancing the workload across all 12 guys is almost a science at this point.
Pass to Harris. Over Gay. Embiid trying to break loose. A second chance effort. He lays it in. Embiid's got the first points up on the board here for the 76ers. Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against Houston.
And bottom line, they found ways to score. Credit the game plan going in. It was right on the money.
They knew that the arena would be rocking. And if they could execute well on the offensive end, they knew they could quiet down this hostile crowd.
Here's DeRozan. It's hauled in by Harris. And here's Simmons. He'll bring it up for the 76ers.
And you watch DeRozan play, he still has that explosiveness. Great first step out of the triple threat position. Can switch directions on the go. Is still a handful to slow on the perimeter.
Here's DeRozan after Ben Simmons' bucket. Puts one up from 19. DeRozan's shot is good.
Nice little dribble move there from DeRozan to open up space for the shot.
Shoots from the baseline. No good off the back of the rim. Greg, with the explosiveness you talked about with DeRozan, it helps that he finishes so well when he gets to the rim.
And maybe not what he once was, but he is still an elite level athlete. Doesn't only have to drop the hammer when he gets to the rim either. Very smooth at adjusting mid-flight to finish at the rim.
And it's out of bounds to the Spurs as San Antonio retains possession. A fantastic mobile one block. This one deserves another look.
And early in the game, a defensive play like that goes a long way, establishing the attitude you want.
.143 left in the first quarter. 3 on the clock.
Great position on that play from Tobias, challenging the shot and getting a piece of it.
Now the pass to Milton. Murray against Simmons. San Antonio with the rebound. Their last meeting was in Philadelphia, where they were unable to fight off the 76ers.
And defensively in that one, they needed to come up with big stops to quiet that crowd, and that's obviously easier said than done.
Yes, the other team is feeding off that enthusiasm. You have to try and match that energy.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
The Spurs have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Murray with the bounce pass. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen. Only 3 games left until the start of the playoffs. Let's see how the East will look. Take a look at the 76ers. They're second in the conference and looking to finish strong heading into the playoffs.
And I think for the 76ers, they must have reached every goal they set for themselves this season. For them to be this high in the standings this late in the season, what an accomplishment.
It really has been amazing. Everyone just kept waiting for them to fade, and it never happened.
Now here's White following the missed shot by Tobias Harris.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
The veteran presence of Danny Green keeping his eyes up, finding his teammate wide open.
There's 31 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. DeRozan surveying the D. Out left to the wing. Pirtle, no one around him. And too long on the shot.
Yeah, he's kicking himself. No defenders to be found in that mid-range area.
On the wing, Milton. White covering. The tray. Here's Embiid. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Embiid's got his second bucket of the night.
You see that nasty streak Embiid possesses. Part of why he's a superstar. Great motor.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. Back right after this. Starting out his career, Derek White's been the beneficiary of playing for a great coach. Here's what he had to say.
He's been big on me about just believing in myself. I remember one time he's like, it doesn't matter what school you went to, what happened in the past, just believe in yourself, know that you belong here, and good things started happening.
And it seems like White continues to improve every season.
And, you know, whenever we rank coaches, we talk about systems, managing personalities, managing game situations. But player development is usually just as important.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. And guys, what's your take so far on Philadelphia?
I love their effort, contesting shots, trying to intimidate here early on.
And you can see it's already having an impact. It can cause shooters to think twice.
We've got Johnson, and it's Vassell in at the 2. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. To the inside, Eubanks, and the layup falls. Today, Greg, we see a lot more friendly rivalry. Does that bother you?
Not at all. I mean, people like to say, well, our era had the rivalries were more bitter. I disagree with that. I think guys are every bit as competitive today as they've ever been.
It's good to hear.
They just also have more exposure and opportunity to be around one another. Kids today growing up, they've been playing against each other since the 5th, 6th grade in national tournaments. When we played, we didn't get to see the other top players around the country. So I think that was one reason why you didn't have a closeness with guys that unless you were on the same team.
The 76ers leading by 6.
Well, a look at Lonnie Walker, the 18th pick in that 2018 draft. He's being brought along slowly as the team loves his potential, but he has a lot to smooth out with his game.
Talented, driven, he puts constant pressure on your defense.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Greg, you talk about the upside with Lonnie Walker. This team loves his athleticism.
You know, not the typical Spurs-type player we've seen targeted in the past. An athletic maniac who can fly end to end. The polish to his game will come. It's just going to take some time.
Checked in for San Antonio. Harris is checked in for the 76ers. Let's take a look at the numbers for DeMar DeRozan.
And it's a nice month he's having. Something's got him motivated. He's become a much bigger contributor offensively. He's settled into the kind of groove that every player wants to get in.
Here's Murray. A 14-point game for him in the win against Houston.
And his scoring's going to get most of the attention, but his rebounding also stood out. He did a lot of glass cleaning in that game.
Now, here's Portis. Following the miss by DeJounte Murray. Here's Harris. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Murray, the pass to Jang. Here's Eubanks. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Rockets in Houston. Shot clock at 6. Johnson from outside. Again, the miss by the Spurs. The 76ers leading by 10. Here's Maxey. The second effort, and it's Harris with the bucket inside.
A tremendous defensive rebounder. Harris getting it done at the offensive end that time.
Murray against Hill. Pass to Jang. There's the triple. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. .17 seconds left here in the second. Now here's DeRozan. Guarded closer. Clock at 6. And now he jams it right over Tobias Harris. Wow!
Incredible leaper, explosive finisher. DeRozan with one of his acrobatic dunks.
Now off the inbound, and it's Hill. That time the assist from Tobias Harris.
And you could tell they had that play ready to go. Well done on the inbound.
And so it's Philadelphia up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. Joel, an early lead and a lot to like in the performance thus far. Would you agree?
Oh, I thought we played great. Defensively, I know that I had someone behind me if I made a mistake that was going to protect the rim. I thought we did great.
We know the adjustments are coming, and we'll see who takes advantage. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. From the get-go, it was Philadelphia who came out strong. They did it just the way it was drawn up in the locker room, starting out on a 10-2 run. When the first quarter came to a close, their lead was 8. Then in quarter number 2, they actually increased their intensity to pull further out in front, finishing with a double-digit advantage at the half. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
The presence of Joel Embiid overpowering. Plays physical, doesn't back down from anyone. He really brings an edge to this team.
Over to Kenny now. Your take on the Spurs.
They didn't really show the effort on the boards they should have. They were out-rebounded, and now they've really got their work cut out for them in the second half. If they're going to come back, they need to put in a much better effort on the glass.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Joel Embiid has been sensational.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last 2 quarters.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Taking a look at the 76ers, Harris and Embiid together in the middle. Ben Simmons is out there with Shake Milton, and it's Green in at the 3 slot. Greg, you were drafted 12th overall by the New York Knicks and then 2nd overall by the Grizzlies in the expansion draft. So you've had a very unique view of being in that position in 2 different settings.
Yeah, I mean, 2 very different cities, but really each beautiful in its own way. The New York draft, obviously coming out of college, that was like a dream come true to go and play for Pat Riley and then get the opportunity to go and be a part of a brand new team in a new country, if you will, was also a really cool experience as well.
Take a break.
I hope we can take a petition started by you and me to get the NBA back in Vancouver. I miss
and
going
Seattle,
to Vancouver.
right? Let's get back in both
Seattle.
those cities.
Exactly. And he knocks down the first one.
Really an underrated part of Embiid's game. Excellent as a foul shooter for a 7-footer, so you just can't hack away at it.
Both shots good from the stripe.
It's been a really good day for him at the line. Some other bigs have well-documented problems on their free throws. He's not one of them.
This is it to get. That shot misses. And Philadelphia the other way now.
And Smitty, with Rudy Gay, the longtime NBA veteran, Father Time might have taken away what he once was, but boy, he still finds ways to contribute.
He does, G.A. Rudy Gay isn't the same scorer that he once was. But what I love about it, he's actually playing the power forward position more later in his career. He can still fill up the box score and also add a lot of rebounding. His passing has been underrated for a few seasons as well. Got to be on the lookout for Pirtle crashing the glass, using his body to wreck the defense on the boards.
Here's Green. Gay with the block. And the foul called on Danny Green. That's his first foul. His shot was hindered by that momentous mobile 1 block.
And that'll give him a jolt. Nothing like a rejection to light a fire under you.
Spurs trail by 12. Now here's DeRozan. He has 6. And Embiid with the block.
Length plus agility, great recipe for blocking shots. Embiid's one of the best to do it.
And the Spurs with some changes. Eubanks is checked in, and it's Lonnie Walker in for White. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And just trying to get some traction offensively. Boy, it hasn't been pretty.
You know, this is a good time to maybe switch up your strategy a little bit. You can't keep doing what you're doing and expect a different result.
This is a list of the guys that have been dialed in at the free throw line lately since the All-Star break. No one has been better. Tobias Harris, number 1.
And one look at his numbers since the break, and you can see how comfortable he's been at the foul line.
First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter.
That's just too easy. DeMar getting the shot he wants and where he wants.
And so Simmons will bring it up for Philadelphia. They've led by as many as 14 points. And there's Embiid. That's good on the assist by Simmons. Embiid's got 12 points in the game. Spurs trail by 12. Walker looking for an opening. Shot from free throw range. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Embiid's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
This is where Tobias has really improved, keeping his eyes up, making plays for others.
There's 57 seconds left in the third. Outside DeRozan. Eubanks the pass to Johnson. And a miss there on the triple. Philadelphia leading by 14. Green dishes to Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
And showcasing that overwhelming strength, Embiid is so skilled at finishing over the aggressive defense.
For San Antonio, they've gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Johnson outside. Down low, Eubanks, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
That's a well-timed, well-coordinated play, comes right off the pick for the lay-in.
Harris finds Simmons. And here's Embiid. Eubanks grabs the miss.
Out of character for him to miss that shot. Maybe just a little too casual there.
DeRozan for 3. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. 76ers on top. They lead by 14. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
You know, it takes good vision and it takes good decision making right there. He showed both, and he did so at a very high level.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time. And Greg, you play with some big personalities. Talk about the best way to manage egos and conflicts in the locker room. That's a very interesting topic.
No doubt about it. You know, Kev, first thing you learn from middle school on, your team is your family. And let's face it, all families have spats, and so do teams. You just learn to never personalize those things. Never leave any stone unturned. Like, don't let things fester. When there are issues, you address them. And if you're not taking things personally, you tend to be able to work through whatever issues you may come in front of.
Good advice. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court right now for the Spurs, Johnson is out there with Rudy Gay. Then there's DeJounte Murray. Then it's White, and it's Jang in at the 5 down low. Here's White, following the basket by George Hill. At the tip, great positioning on the putback. Jang's got his first basket.
Challenging the defense at the rim, something he does very well. Excellent tip in.
Pass to Embiid. Outside, Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
And this is how Simmons puts up points. He challenges you close at the rim more often than not, having the physical advantage.
Spurs trail by 16. Murray surveying the D. Feeds it to Johnson. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Johnson's got his first 2 points of the night.
And even if you risk a foul, the D has to play him tougher when he gets it that deep.
And if you don't, they keep finding the matchup every time up the floor.
They get it back, and the basket is good. And the 76ers lead by 16.
Well, credit them for maintaining that aggression, even being up this much.
They don't want to leave no chance for a comeback. Just focus on playing the right way. So good at the rim. A slow defensive rotation leads to the easy lay.
And the 76ers call time here. They're up by 14. 1:27 left to play here in the fourth. Let's present our New Balance Player of the Game, Joel Embiid.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
And with the playoffs on the horizon, he'll be looking to stay in peak form as long as he can. Here's Simmons. Second shot opportunity. Here's Milton. From outside, off the mark. Spurs trail by 14. Here's White, and White slams it in.
Derek shows the ability to run the floor. His coaches will appreciate that effort.
Here's Green, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for Philadelphia.
Two great rebounding teams.
And these guys worked just a little bit harder tonight, and that was the edge they needed.
And this team, obviously one of the elite teams. They have played with heart and passion for the game all season long, and the wins for them just keep rolling along. And tonight, it'll make win number 63.
A two-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was the power on that throwdown.
On the heels of this run, you wonder where was this effort earlier on?
Well, the question becomes, are they playing that much better now, or has their opponent taken the rest of the night off?
And the shot goes in.
Yeah, they've sucked the energy out of this arena. Tremendous effort on the road.
And when you're on the road, you can't be tentative coming into a game like this. I thought their aggressive approach was the difference.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Shooting for San Antonio, DeMar DeRozan. At the line for two.
Two-shot.
First one falls for him.
DeRozan, a raw athlete entering this league. He's worked on his skill to the point where he's now a perennial all-star candidate.
DeMar DeRozan hits them both. And it's Harris with the ball for the Philadelphia 76ers. At one point, they led by 16. And that one's good. Green.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
It's called killer instinct. It's one thing to be close at the end. It's another to finish.
Milton the pass to Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Throw it down, young fella. Simmons is explosive and without a doubt one of my favorite dunkers.
So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. Joel, in the past, you've had some critics, and you haven't run away from that. So what are you looking to prove out there?
Just being dominant, so I want, every time people hear my name, I want them to know that I'm a dominant player.
That was certainly the case tonight, man. Congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.